So yesterday we started looking at equations, recapping that. So quadratic equations then. There we go. Comes from one basic idea. If you've got two things multiplied together to give 0, the only possibility is that one of those, or maybe both, are equal to 0. The only possible way you can multiply two things together and get the answer of 0. So that way, if we can factorise our quadratic, fantastic. We know one of those factors must equal 0. In this case, yes, factorises 6 and 3. So, well, technically there is another line there, but we usually don't write it down. But of course what we're saying is, well, either x plus 6 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0. And then they would have the solutions minus 6 and minus 3. I've just put this one in here to highlight. So it's quite amazing how often the first factor is missed out because it's sitting there by itself and people just give the answer of x equals -½ and forget about the little factor of x there. But of course x equals 0 would be a possibility there as well. Not all quadratics can be factorised though. So we have our wonderful quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So let's do one of those. Alright, sub in negative b plus or minus b squared, etc., etc. And we get our two possibilities. We always end up with conjugates. Remember that term, conjugates with thirds? We always end up with conjugates. Because essentially what you've got there is, if you think of the picture, you've got a parabola. And you're saying, well, hang on, it's the axis of symmetry, minus 514, plus or minus, because it's symmetric, it'll be the same distance either side of the axis of symmetry that cuts the x-axis. So that's why we always get our plus or minus. Now, that would be an exact answer, which of course mathematicians are very happy with. We deal with exactness. Science teachers, you find, they're a little bit paranoid and go, no, we need an approximation. How can we handle this in the real world? And so they'll go to an answer and go, oh, well, it's around about minus 3.14 or 0.64. That, of course, would be an approximation. Make x the subject. Well, make x the subject is exactly the same as solve the equation for x. So what we do in this situation is we just treat y as if it's a constant number. So let's rewrite it so it looks like a quadratic equation. And so the constant now becomes negative 3 plus y. And then we do it exactly the same way. So negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And, oh no, that can still tidy up some more. So I've simplified the third, I've pulled 2 out. Oh no, still go. 2's into everything, so we can cancel. And then we have it, x equals -2 plus or minus the square root of 7 plus y. That's a very quick bit of physics.